northwest city of Seattle at newly named Lumen Field, home of the 12s. Coming up, we've got what should prove to be a good one, as it'll be the Indianapolis Colts taking on the Seattle Seahawks. And they'll start this drive just across the 30. Pretty nice work on the return. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. Only a couple for him there on the game's first play, and it's 2nd down.
Well, offensively, that's the mismatch that you want. You want to force a linebacker to try and cover your back out of the backfield, out in some open space. But linebackers nowadays, they run like backs, and they take a lot of pride in covering. What a nice play he made there in the open field.
They'll get this one to Cobb, complete. So 8 yards on the completion there, and it'll leave him with 3rd and a full yard to go.
And I think this is a route we'll see more of as this game goes on, because with his speed, they want to get him the ball in space on drag routes just like this. They want him to get the ball and run after the catch. Good job there, though, holding him for a short gain.
Darnold a sneak, and he is going to have a Seahawks first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Well, they pick it up on 3rd and 1 on the quarterback sneak, and that's not easily done because there are extra bodies in there on the defensive side, and they're moving forward at the snap.
Yeah, I was certainly expecting a handoff, weren't you?
Yeah, I totally was. I thought they'd go with a back, maybe try and get a lead blocker in front. But as you talk about in different games, those guys with confidence in their offensive line, they just want to move forward and get it.
It'll be a gain of just a yard, and it's 2nd down.
Brings up 2nd and 9. At the 43-yard line.
Now it's Darnold. Gets this complete to Shaheed. And just 3 yards on the catch there. He couldn't get away. And now 3rd down and 6 to go.
3rd and 6.
They are in need of 6 yards here if they hope to move the chains. Here's Darnold. Oh, he had him. He was open, but he couldn't get it to him. It's incomplete.
1 first down here, and that's all, folks. Good work by this defense to hold things in check and force a punting situation.
The Seahawks will call on Michael Dixon on 4th down to punt this one away. Yikes. Terrible kick headed straight for the sidelines. And no return possible here as they angle this one out of bounds. And the Colts getting ready to go. Rivers and the Colts going to come up 1st and 10 at their own 28-yard line. On play action, they'll throw. And that is incomplete. Oh, the coverage a little too good there, and it's 2nd down. He did an okay job of absorbing the hit, just couldn't secure the football through the catch.
And he was right there on the spot and forced the incompletion. That's something defenders work on all the time. If you're there, make the contact, but continue to work your way through the receiver so that he can't possess the football and turn it into a catch.
This one completes Alec Pierce. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. 25 yards there on the catch and run.
1st down. 1st and 10 at the 47-yard line.
So from Seahawk territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 47. They give to Taylor out of the gun. And some room to roam now. And they're able to work this to the 25 before it's all said and done. That's back-to-back plays of over 20 yards. They went with the nickel look defensively, so they had 5 defensive backs in there. Didn't help them stop the run.
Yeah, I love that, the nickel look. 5 cents, 5 DBs. But what also happens then? You take a big body off the field in order to insert that guy. So you're taking a big off for a little. And oftentimes you can run the football effectively against that defense.
And this one is going to be off the mark, too far out in front.
Nice progress down the field was halted by that incompletion. They could try for some safe yards here to get things moving again, or keep throwing it and pushing it downfield to try and pick up bigger yardage.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Now Rivers. Now he'll tuck this and run. And he's brought down, but he has it down to the 12 on a pickup of 12. 1st and 10. And now a stoppage. It looks like we have a Colt who was shaken up on that last play. The medical staff is going to come out here and take a look, and we will take a short break. From down at the 12, it's 1st and 10. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. It'll be a 2-yard gain, and it'll bring up a 2nd down.
It's 2nd and 8 at the 11-yard line.
Looking to throw. Leonard. Touchdown, Colts. Jonathan Taylor from 10 yards out. And the Colts get the upper hand as they're on the board first here this afternoon. An ideal start for them, really. You force the punt, and then you go down and score.
And you've got to see a fist pump on the sideline from the head coach, don't you? Because he's turned into his bench, and he's telling his team, this is how we prepare. Force the punt, go downfield and score. I told you guys, it's just like a boxer in the gym preparing for the fight. Now we get to turn it all loose.
After the touchdown, here's Groupie to kick this one away. And a fast footwork by White. And makes it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. Seattle's offense coming back onto the field, ready for their 2nd drive. The last series for them, a little disappointing, forced a punt. And now they'll try to do better here and come away with some points as they begin this drive. 1st and 10. First carry here for Kenneth Walker III. And not much there. Maybe a yard up to the 24.
Well, sometimes you just have to give credit to the defense. Great job there at the point of attack, holding up. They won their battles at the line of scrimmage, left him no space to try and run. A really nice job swarming to the ball carrier.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Darnold. Down the right sideline. And down to the 28-yard line. A big play there on the catch and run. 48 yards.
It's not a surprise when you read scouting reports and watch tape because you know he's a heck of a player. But he is so difficult to get down in the open field. They just want to get him the ball and let him do his thing.
Up the middle they run. It's Walker. And only a yard this time as he's taken down right around the 26.
Certainly a nice job there by the defense rallying to the football and getting him on the ground. But I think the play gets made by the defensive front because if they can't get upfield, their job is to go ahead and get low, almost get into a ball sometimes, stack things up, and make it difficult for the runner to find a hole.
A play fake, and it's Darnold. That'll be caught. It's Cup. And he gets it all the way down inside the 10 and mark him at the 5. The end result, 21 yards.
Boy, how about the speed with which this offense can get down the field? It's taking them no time at all to get down here. And now they're set up with a 1st and goal.
Off of play action, Darnold. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game.
Well, there's still time to rectify this situation because the silver lining, they took a sack on 1st and goal. But that close to the goal line, that still definitely hurts.
First down, a bit of a disaster, and now on 2nd and goal, back even further. Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. To the end zone, but knocked away and incomplete.
As a defensive back, you have some weapons at your disposal that we don't often talk about, and you can read the receiver's eyes, you can read his hands, and you know that the arrival of the ball is imminent, and that allows you to make a play on it and oftentimes knock it away.
A big play forthcoming. Here's 3rd and goal. Out of the shotgun, here's Darnold. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
Well, they've got man coverage on the outside, and my scouting report on these DBs tells me that they love to take matters in their own hands. They want man coverage, not zone, and there was good coverage there that forced the incompletion.
On comes the Seahawk kicker here on 4th down. It's Jason Myers. This from 32 yards away. Myers' kick is good. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. So the 3 points there, and CD, that helps them inch a bit closer.
Yeah, partner, when you're losing, any points you see go on the board in your favor, you're happy to take them.
Myers now converted on the field goal try. Now he's on to kick it away. And he'll be stopped up at the 25. Second drive coming up here for the Indianapolis Colts. First and 10, Taylor now. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
You've got to be impressed by that defensive front on reps like those. They were not being moved off the line, kept their shoulders square, and gave their teammates time to fight to the ball and limit that gain.
They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. Off the play fake here, Rivers. Well, that'll be incomplete. Well, he took a shot as he let that go. And it's going to bring up a 3rd down.
Play action is supposed to be used to slow down pressure, slow down blitzes. In this case, though, if it takes a little too long to develop, you got people right in your face.
And lucky just to get rid of the ball with the arm going forward. Could have been a fumble. Throwing Rivers. And the Seahawk defense gets to him, and they bring him down. And now that brings up 4th down there, a loss of 6 yards on the sack. The defense, they brought the house. That O-line, they were overwhelmed.
To put it mildly, because they didn't have enough bodies to block all the guys that came at them. Their best move, how they would have been better served, just turn around and yell, "Look out!" because here they come.
As Sanchez on to punt here as he sends this one away. 37 yards on the punt with no return. And it'll be Seahawk football, 1st and 10. The Seattle now ready to march onto the field. Looking to put a drive together. Hands it to Walker to begin the series. They find some open field here. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. 23 yards on the pickup there and a 1st.
I can say this from experience, especially from a defensive back's perspective. There's not many things more terrifying than a toss sweep or a pitch play and all that beef out in front of the runner.
Yeah, I had an old coach say 3 words on those plays, toss or pitch. Set the edge. Heard him over and over.
A lot of times they roll the edge, and when they do that, that's why you can go for a long way.
So just 3 yards on the completion there, and that'll bring up second down.
And there's a completion to the tight end, and look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football, and that's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
And they'll get him to the ground. He has another first down at the Colts' 25-yard line.
Well, I think when they look at their offense, they think to themselves, weapons, weapons everywhere, and they want to move the ball around. They want to spread it to different people, but you absolutely know they want to get this man involved as well, and that's what they just did on that play.
They'll look to throw now on first down. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete.
Boy, that one was well read defensively, and this is all about diagnosis as a safety and being decisive because he saw it setting up in front of him, able to knife through there and make the play.
2nd and 9. Faking the give, Darnold. A quick throw there is incomplete. Just a little beyond the reach there of his receiver. That's probably one he wishes he had back.
He wishes it had been 7-on-7 in practice, or maybe even routes versus air, because that's a completion he makes, 9.9 times out of 10? Just missed that one.
Here's Darnold. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And so close, he gets it to the 1. Out of bounds right there.
A field goal helps, but a touchdown gets you the lead. That had to be the message transmitted in the huddle. And they delivered there as that throw is going to keep the drive alive. And even better than that, set them up with a 1st and goal.
Walker will score. Touchdown, Seattle. A solid blocking up front from the guys on the offensive line allowed him to get in for the touchdown.
Yeah, some might say that the guys on the offensive line were in concert. I used to have a coach who called it marrying up, meaning when you get on a guy, you just stay right there, and each guy has his own assignment. That allowed the runner to make the big move towards the end zone.
Extra point up and through by Myers. And the lead is now 10-7. And after the touchdown, here's Myers to boot it away. And they will wrangle it down a couple yards shy of the 30. The Colts now, their offense works their way back onto the field. These guys definitely hoping for a better showing than their last appearance. They couldn't really even move the football much beyond the shadows of their own goalpost, Charles. We'll see if they can get a better, more sustained drive going here.
Yeah, and every team that we ever talk to says the exact same thing. When you start a drive from that deep in your own territory, the goal is a minimum of at least 2 first downs, because even if you have to punt then, you change the field position, right? You flip the field a little bit. They didn't get that done. This time they want to string together a nice drive and help themselves out. I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. And that's off the mark, incomplete.
And that's the knowledge you gain from being in this league for a long time. He's learned the hard way when to give up and fight another down. And that's a smart move to throw it away.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Rivers. He'll try and do this himself. And he'll hit the deck, but he did not get there. The decision to tuck and run gets him 3, but that's not enough. Now it's 4th.
Well, there were a couple of extra defensive backs in the game, so he really had nowhere to go with the football despite his search for an open receiver. So he has to take off and run for it, but he comes up well short of the line to gain.
Now on fourth down, on is the punt team sending this one away. It'll be a 39-yard punt, no return. And they will take over first and 10. And out now come the Seahawks. And that last touchdown drive they had, very balanced. How key is that balance?
It's huge because most of the time when we talk about balance is run, pass, almost 50-50. But most of the times when you talk to offensive coaches, they say balance is we do what we want when we want to. And that means that they're ahead of the defense, keeping them on their heels.
Yeah, they imposed their will on that last drive.
And he finds a little bit of room, enough for 4 yards. It'll be second down.
Oh, that was a thing of beauty right there. Look at how quick those blockers fired off the line once the ball was snapped. That was an O-line on a mission, all in sync, and the defense is lucky that play only picked up 5 yards.
(10-7) our score after one, right here on EA Sports. Second quarter now from Seattle, and it is the Seahawks with the football here as they are looking at a 2nd and 5 situation. To throw is Darnold. That'll be caught by Cup. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. 5th catch of the afternoon, and that gives him a first down.
Seahawks, first down. 1st and 10 at the 40-yard line.
They'll fake the handoff. Now Darnold. On the RPO, he'll keep it himself. He'll get just a yard on the scramble. It's second down.
They made a nice effort to stick him with a loss for that play, but it's going to take more than that to keep him from advancing the ball. Should be an entertaining battle anytime he tucks and runs over the second half of this contest.
Now we're at the 41, 2nd and 9.
And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there.
A gain of 2 brings up 3rd and 7.
And this offense on 3rd down today, they've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 7. Now Darnold. And he'll be brought down by the Colts. Neville Gallimore in there to get him for a loss of 9 yards, and that also leads to 4th down.
A good scheme and an early win for this pass rush. They got back there before he could work through his entire progression and ended that play early.
On 4th down, ready to punt, Michael Dixon. The 41-yard punt, 9 on the return. The Colts offensive unit ready to see what they can do here.
Defense got the better of them last series, forcing a punt. See if they make a few changes in the game plan here and try to get points out of this drive. 1st and 10. Rivers going to bring the Colts up 1st and 10
at the 34. They'll try and start this drive in the air. And incomplete, a drop there in the middle third of the field. That'll bring up 2nd down. Fair to say, hasn't been his best game throwing the football, but also not getting a lot of help out there either.
Yeah, you nailed it pretty well, you know. He's got to throw it better, got to get more help. Obviously one that should have been caught. They've got to find a way to bring those 2 elements together so they can make some progress in this one.
Rivers now. Connecting over the middle with Downs. He'll get only 3 there, so it leaves him with a 3rd and 7 ahead.
And I think he just wanted to get the ball to one of his playmakers to see if they can make something happen, but he ends up throwing into a crowded area. and after the catch, he isn't able to do much with it.
So 7 yards from the first down here as they come up to the line of scrimmage.
Rivers from the gun on third down.
This one finds Pierce on the out route. And he is going to have a Colts first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
That play might not seem like much yardage-wise, but when you're looking at maybe having to go 3 and out and punt the football again, it becomes an important conversion. Now the question, can they keep it going from here?
Rivers is going to fake the give to Taylor and set up to throw it. Now that's into the hands of Mo Alley-Cox, the tight end.
Call it a gain of 6 on the play, and it's second down.
Nice play call, a little bit of play action right there. If you can get those linebackers to freeze for just a split second, that's usually all the room you need in order to get it to your tight end.
From the 48-yard line, here's a 2nd and 4.
To the air again here, Rivers.
Now this will be swung out wide for Taylor.
And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30.
19 yards there on the catch and run.
And just in general, Charles, on a play like that, how tough is it for the defense to account for a running back essentially being a receiver downfield?
It's very difficult, especially if the running back has skills like a receiver, and you're aware of that before the game even begins. So throughout your practice sessions, you're going to want to be aware of him.
Boye Mafe
showing his strength and quickness there, a loss of 4.
Okay, was it a breakdown in protection? Did the running back not pick him up? What does it really matter? Sometimes it's just a great play made by the defense. Big-time sack.
So 2nd and long, and got to be careful not to fall out of field goal range. Now Rivers.
He'll drop this down to Taylor.
They get 14 back, but it leads now to a 3rd down.
That's a good bounce-back play right there after taking a sack on first down. Didn't quite get it to the marker, but now they're in a much better spot for a 3rd and short yardage call. If you're the offensive coordinator, you like looking at that section a heck of a lot better than trying to figure out 3rd and long.
On the sneak, Rivers.
And he is going to have a Colts first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
It's been a good drive so far. They just wanted to keep it going, so they call low-risk, low-reward play. No one's worried about picking up big yardage here. Quarterback sneak, keep the chains moving, and pick up another first down.
The option to give to Taylor here. Reek Woolen in on the stop.
Well, that call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again they show passing formation, showing the shotgun. Then they ran out of it. That's a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short gain.
2nd down and 8. They'll run the toss here with Taylor.
And they get him behind the line, so that short gain on first down quickly negated. They give those 2 yards right back, and now they're looking at a 3rd and 10. Bear in mind, that wasn't a big lineman back there for the tackle for loss. That was a cornerback.
So are you saying the myth has been shattered? That all of them are not just cover corners? Some of them actually will stick their nose in and tackle when necessary? That's what we just saw, isn't it?
Looking for Pearson. He's got him. Touchdown, Indianapolis. Alec Pierce.
An 18-yard touchdown grab.
And the Colts are once again back in front.
Man, he just ran a terrific route.
And now, of course, all scoring plays are reviewed, and I think they're going to take an extra long look at this one. Here's Groupie for the PAT.
And that makes it 14-10.
Makes the score Colts 14, Seahawks 10.
After the touchdown, here's Groupie to kick this one away. And he will make it to the 20-yard line and no further.
The Seattle offense now set to come back out on the field. Looking to put a drive together. Play action. It's Darnold.
We'll get that to Charbonnet.
And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. 17 yards on the catch and run. It's a first down.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there, getting it to their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say, get it to him in space, let him use his leg.
Yeah, if he can get a matchup against a linebacker or maybe a defensive end dropping out in a zone blitz, he's going to win that battle just about every time.
A gain of 8 there on the play. And that'll bring up a second down in just a couple.
Nice rhythm throw there on first down. He located his tight end, made it a nice, easy pitch and catch.
Hoping he can break a tackle or two. Wasn't able to do that there, but still good yardage.
Running left is Walker.
And he'll be stopped up at the line of scrimmage with a flag down. Let's check on the call.
So they cite the right guard this time with a holding penalty.
And so many different assignments you can have at that position, and sometimes you might just be a step too late and have to grab and hold on.
They'll come up now on a 2nd and long after the hold. A shotgun snap for Darnold. He'll get this one to Cobb, complete. And this winds up a gain of 4 to the 41.
In so many ways, throwing the hitch route is actually one of the safer things an offense can do. Get the ball out to the receiver as fast as possible, hope he's got man-to-man coverage, and hope that his athleticism wins on the perimeter.
This offense so far on 3rd down, 2 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 7. Back to throw, Darnold.
And he couldn't square up to throw there, and it falls incomplete.
Not much going on this drive. Looks like they're going to have to punt it away, CD.
And right now, I know a lot of their fans are screaming for the OC to change things up, get away from what he's been calling. Sometimes you just need better execution of the plays that have been called.
Here's Michael Dixon now to punt. It'll be 37 yards there on the punt. And the Colts will go on offense here, 1st and 10.
Indy set to go on offense once more. Rivers and the Colts going to come up 1st and 10
at the 31-yard line.
He'll start with a give to Taylor.
And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
Let's face it, that's just a helpless feeling for a running back there. He's looking up to find a hole, and all he finds is a whole lot of ticked-off linebacker.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11.
Off the option, here's Taylor.
And he'll be upended at the 33 following a gain of 3. And guess what? It brings up 3rd down.
Sometimes your philosophies get challenged at times you don't want them to. They did try to stick to the running game on the first 2 plays. Didn't amount to much.
And now facing a 3rd and long at the outset of this drive.
3rd and 8.
Rivers to throw it. And that is incomplete.
That could be the stop this defense needed to get them back on track. They've been pretty well dissected by the offense here in the first half. After that possession, now they know that they can compete with this offense.
Out is Rigoberto Sanchez on 4th down to punt this thing. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. So possession goes over here on the punt.
And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over.
Here come the Seahawks now, set to take over on offense.
As we eke closer and closer to intermission, Charles, remember last time out they punted. They would love to get points here, especially if this is going to be their final possession of the first half.
Yeah, and this is what close games feel like because the pressure is on both sides, but sometimes the pressure is a little bit higher on the team with the slight edge because they're trying to hold on to that, trying to increase it. Let's see how this one continues.
They'll wind up getting 7 on the play, and it'll be 2nd down. In motion, the tight end. Darnold now to throw. There's a short one caught by Arroyo. Catch number 4 for him on the afternoon, and it'll give him a 1st down.
And the tight end is certainly a position built to move the chains because they can control space underneath. If they've got good hands, then, of course, they're a dynamic target. But one other thing is they're right in the sight lines of a quarterback on just about every play, and that makes it easier for the quarterback to pick him out and deliver.
Darnold from the gun.
There's a short one caught by Arroyo.
And he gets this to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out. 12 more yards for him there. It's a 1st down. 5th catch of the game for him there.
Yeah, and the tight end position is now becoming a volume pass catcher. It used to be occasional, right? Safety valve. Throw one to him every so often, but mainly they want him out there to block. Nowadays, an integral part of the passing game, and they create such great mismatches that they often become the leading receiver.
And to the 36-yard line, taken down there after getting 8 yards.
Brings up 2nd and 2 at the Colts 36-yard line.
2 yards to go, 2nd down.
Throwing again is Darnold. Throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete.
The coverage keyed in on him since that last completion his way. He earned a little more attention on that route, and that made it a lot tougher to get a clean throw his way.
After the incompletion, here now, 3rd and 2. Darnold.
Able to find the open man. That's complete.
And they'll get him to the ground. He has another 1st down at the Colts' 20-yard line. A sizable 16-yard chunk there. The drive continues.
And this was a nice example of an offensive coordinator scheming his guy open. Just a little underneath route, just trying to free up some space, and it worked awfully well. Got him not just space, but plenty of room to run after the catch to pick up really nice yardage.
Give him 3 on the keeper there, and it is 2nd down. Now the Seahawks going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half.
Here's 2nd and 7.
Now it's Darnold. Over the middle, and it's incomplete.
One of the best routes, one of the favorite routes of any play caller. He just ran that one. Nice little angle route. That's supposed to be a catch, and usually it is, and the running back dropped it.
Yeah, I mean, he's a running back, but he's got hands. He should have caught it. An 8-play drive to this point. So here's play number 9 on 3rd and 7. Out of the shotgun, here's Darnold. He'll try and do this himself, and he will slide to a stop. He does have the 1st down. Now the Seahawks call the 2nd of their 3 timeouts as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play. So it's 1st and goal and a great opportunity to get that lead back before the break. Here's Darnold. Now he's going to step up and run. And he is in for the Seattle touchdown. Sam Darnold, a 6-yard touchdown run. And the Seahawks will take the lead here in the final minute of the first half.
If you're going to play quarterback in the NFL, you've got to have great vision, and you've got to remain calm when things break down in the pocket. Both of those traits are on display there. He surveys the situation, sees the middle of the field open, so he's just going to step up and take it himself. Very well done there.
And after the touchdown, here's Myers to boot it away.
And out a little across the 25 to the 27. And the Colts about to go on offense one final time in this first half.
And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
Rivers.
That one finds Pierce right side.
The Colts going to use the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 20 seconds to go in the first half.
First and 10 at the 39-yard line.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a first and 10. Now Rivers.
A short one there, caught by Warren.
Now the Colts going to burn the second of their timeouts.
So as they talk it over, we step aside.
Colts, first down. A gain of 11 on the play. First down, Colts.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. Rivers now from the 50. And too much juice. It'll be out of bounds, incomplete.
And not a common sight, at least on this drive. A momentary setback, though, for this passing game that has been moving well this series. Good thing for them, though. Still 2 more downs to connect and try and pick up another first down.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Again, it's Rivers.
They'll set up the screen to Taylor.
And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. And we're going to get a timeout with 2 seconds remaining in the second quarter. So with 2 ticks left here in the half, on is the field goal unit. This will be from 56 yards out. And his kick is good. He got every bit of that one as it's good from 56 yards out. And that will tie things at 17 all. And ready to get the party started for the second half. It was an even first half, all tied on the scoreboard.
And he brings us out past the 20 to the 24. The Colts going to take over on offense to begin this third quarter. It's a tie football game here. What do you think, Charles, the message was at halftime?
Well, I think that they probably just looked at things and said, we're fortunate that this is a tie game. No need to panic. No need to change a whole lot. We didn't play anything close to our best in the first half, so we don't have to go out and win one for the Gipper. Let's just go out and play our best football.
Dangerous spot for them to cough it up. Lucky to have recovered because had the defense gotten it, they were already within a shadow of the goalpost.
Yeah, and then you're yelling at your own defense. Sudden change, sudden change. That's not what you want to hear on your sideline. That means you got to run out there and try and stop an offense who has the ball in a very advantageous position.
Running straight ahead, Taylor.
Showed some solid running, strong running, and then he's corralled just beyond the 10. He'll get 3, but it leaves him with a big hole here on 3rd and very long.
Well, they're hoping that the second half is better for him than the first half. They've got to find a way to get him going. He's a big part of their offense.
Now 3rd down and very long.
Throwing, Rivers. And he's going to be brought down. Back at his own 6-yard line.
And now after that sack, we'll pause here a moment because someone was shaken up on that play. Well, hopefully, obviously nothing serious here. Medical staff, though, going to take a peek, and we'll take a break.
Now here's Rigoberto Sanchez as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. We'll call that a 43-yard punt, 2 on the return. And the Seahawks will have great field position to start this drive. They take over on the short side of the field.
Walker now on 1st and 10.
And he's got this down to the 35.
So that flag obviously takes away the good yardage that they had on the play.
And talk about a momentum shift, because we can visibly see this celebration shifting from one side of the field to the other as soon as everyone saw the flag.
So following the hold, they're in a bit of a hole here with a 1st and 20. Now Darnold. And that one going to be off target and incomplete.
I think he's got to be careful not to force anything into coverage right there. There weren't really any throwing lanes, but the best part for him, he's got 2nd and 3rd down to fall back on.
So they'll come up after the incompletion for 2nd down. They'll fake the handoff. Now Darnold. The Colts are going to get him. Down he goes.
Quiddy Pay getting in there and burying him behind the line.
Now Charles dealing with a 3rd and long. They'll have to try to go back to the air again, and this time avoid the sack.
Certainly hard to try to establish momentum when all you're doing is going backwards, not protecting the passer, and he gets dumped on his backside.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. He's going to loft this one deep left sideline. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down.
Oh, that's going to hurt a bit because they needed to come through with a completion there. Now a drive that started with great field position is facing 4th down.
Now here's Michael Dixon as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. Good coverage there holds him to just a 2-yard return following a punt of 44.
The Colts set to take over here offensively. Rivers going to bring the Colts up 1st and 10
at their own 17-yard line. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. In trouble here, and down he goes. Back at the 8-yard line. Jaron Reed forced his way through, drops him for a loss of 10 yards.
I wonder if they're wandering back to the huddle thinking to themselves, can we just hit rewind and go back a play? Definitely not the down they wanted to begin this drive by giving up a sack. But for the defense, that's exactly how they drew it up.
Off the play fake here, Rivers. No gain on the play. And they're going to face an uphill battle here on 3rd and long.
Give them the completion, no gain, but let's focus in on that tackle. Open field tackling, The hardest thing to do in the game, I believe.
But when you get outside the tackle box, it becomes a numbers game. The defense had more than they could block. Rivers. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 30. 3rd and 19, no problem, as they're able to convert.
This is where you can try and get a tight end in space. They like this matchup, so they'll let their 2 receivers to his outside run simple little short routes, hoping to suck up the secondary. And that'll free up space for their tight end on a corner route to make a big play.
And tough going there as he'll only get it up to about the 31. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Offense looked a little bit discouraged after that play, shaking their heads a bit, looking at each other. I think they thought they'd get a lot more out of that call. Sometimes you do get the running lane you want, and other times, the defensive front, they just break up the play before it can get going.
2nd down, another run with Taylor. And they get him behind the line, so that short gain on 1st down quickly negated. They wind up losing a couple there, so they go behind the original line of scrimmage, and now 3rd and 11 coming up.
Ladies and gentlemen, that is a force of nature at the defensive tackle position. Yes, he's as big as they come, but still plenty agile. He's able to make a nice play there to swallow up the ball carrier.
To throw, Rivers. And that is incomplete.
That was a classic example of trying to run with the ball without securing the catch. He was thinking about those rack yards instead of making the catch first and then taking off.
Now here's Rigoberto Sanchez as he's on for the 5th time here today. So a change of possession here on the punt. And out will come the offense as they take over. And the Seahawks get ready to trot out on the field. Good starting field position here for the Seahawks as they come up 1st and 10 at their 36-yard line. He's going to flip that out to the flat. It's complete. And he'll be stopped right at midfield. 1st down yardage on the first play of the drive, 14 yards.
We always talk about having to read defenses and how complicated that is. Well, this was an excellent read. Read the pressure and got rid of the football before it even got to him for a nice gain.
And when they're blitzing like that, running back usually a good spot to go with the football?
Without a doubt, because he's right in your sight line or he's near you. So you're able to just get it to him easily. And once he gets in space, that's usually a good matchup for him.
2 yards on the pickup there, and that'll make it 2nd down.
Brings up 2nd and 8.
Trying the left side with Walker. Powers through it. And he takes this just a few yards shy of the red zone before going out.
Well, that one hurts. That wipes away what would have been a big play.
Well, you and I both know coaches aren't real big on silver linings, but at least that play call was a successful one. Now the focus offensively, that goes to overcoming the penalty and making all that yardage back again.
Now they face a 2nd and long following the holding penalty. To throw is Darnold. That'll be caught by Cup. That's good. The completion there for 7 yards. And that's going to set up a tough 3rd and 9.
Brings up 3rd and 9.
They'll come to the line here needing 9 yards to pick up the first.
To the air again, Darnold. That is caught. And they'll get him to the ground. He has another 1st down at the Colts 33. A new set of downs after a strong pickup of 16 yards.
Well, he's a diminutive receiver, Charles. Not a ton of size, but still able to bring that in against double coverage.
I think that's a great job by him of understanding angles, because you mentioned his size. He's not going to go over the top of someone or body someone out of the way. He's got to make sure he creates enough space for himself, by getting people into the wrong spot on defense, moving them with his body, and then showing his numbers to the quarterback to be open. Not a huge carry there on first down, but not all of them will be. But still, all in all, a positive play for the offense. It's all about picking up at least a few to set up what you're going to do here on second down.
A shotgun snap for Darnold. And that one off the mark behind him, incomplete. Not sure what happened out there, but it looked like the timing was a little off on that throw.
Well, you know I'm a defender, so what am I going to say?
Great defense.
Darn right. They did something to disrupt that timing.
Here's play number 7 on the drive. This is 3rd and 7. Here's Darnold. That's incomplete, but there is a flag down, so hang on. A big call coming on 3rd down.
So they decline the hold, and that's going to lead to a 4th down. Now here's Jason Myers. He gets set for the Seahawk field goal. He made his first, this from 47 yards out.
Myers' kick is good. And with that, they take the lead here 20-17. So chalk that down as an 8-play drive capped with a field goal.
Yeah, as a friend of mine used to say, they were moving and grooving for a while, but they couldn't keep the momentum going enough to get a touchdown out of it.
Myers now converted on the field goal try. Now he's on to kick it away. And not much happening on the return as he'll get this to about the 23. The Colts getting another possession here on offense. See if they can put this drive in the end zone, Charles, because it's been a little bit of a rough go at times. They've had to punt the football a ton in this ball game because of stalled-out drives.
So are you saying that you're kind of tired of seeing the punter run out there and do his thing during this game? Is that what you're trying to say?
Well, I mean, I'm okay with it. I have a feeling that this offense, they don't want to see the punter again.
And frankly, the punter doesn't want to run out there anymore himself. He would love to see his offense put together a drive and give his leg a rest. I see a shake of the head as he gets up, and you've got to imagine he's thinking, guys, you got to help me out. He's hoping his team can read his thoughts because he definitely needs some assistance.
Second down, another run with Taylor. And the result here the same as the last play. Another tackle behind the line of scrimmage by this Seahawk defense. That's a big loss of 3, and it brings up 3rd down. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
Now they set up the screen. That's complete. And he'll be out of bounds near the 30. In fact, right on the 30. So instead of giving them another 3rd down, they'll decline it. Brings up 4.
Now that's smart football right there. You don't even have to really spend a lot of time considering it. Just know that you're probably going to get the ball back. Good job declining that penalty.
Now here's Rigoberto Sanchez as they're forced to kick for the 6th time today. That'll be a 41-yard punt, just 1 yard on the return. And Seattle now ready to march out of the field. And they split the uprights last time for 3. They've got the lead. They're not going to play this conservative. They're not hoping for another field goal. They're hoping for a touchdown.
I'm with you on that one. I like where your head is. I like the way you're thinking because you're exactly right. Trying to sit on a lead and play that way, that doesn't work too well for most teams. Run your offense. Run what you do best. Exactly. Put it all the way down and try to increase your lead in a big way. And the best way to do it, touchdowns.
Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Now that's a mountain of a man that just made that stop, isn't it? But he's more than that. This guy's nimble and quick. More than a space eater. He just made a great play there.
Back to throw, Darnold. Setting up the screen here. This is Walker. And he goes out of bounds just shy of the 45. First down Seattle on a pickup of 13.
When you run a screen pass really well, you got to like the look of it because so many parts come together to make it work well. The offensive linemen where they're faking people out, the back slipping out there, catching the football, then all of them going together as one unit downfield. A really nice pickup.
Repeated the last play, finding Walker.
And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on first down.
Not only did we just see back-to-back nice gains, but we're also seeing the confidence rise, not just for the guy who caught it, but the guy throwing it as well.
And these back-to-back catches here out of the backfield, that can set something up downfield in a later sequence, right?
A lot of the time, it starts to draw the defense closer to the line of scrimmage. So to your point, show this swing pass, show this check down. Maybe later on you heave one deep when you catch them close to the spot. 2nd and 1 and people want to run the football. This is where every back in the league is supposed to do exactly what we just saw there. Pick up the first down.
They couldn't ask for much more to this point in the second half. A gorgeous day, one-score game. 1st and 10 here. On the move past the 40.
And down right around the 37.
The 37-yard line.
So from the 37, here's 2nd and 2.
They'll give it up to the big man Walker. And he is out of bounds inside the 30.
45 yards on the ground for him now on 9 carries.
Yeah, once more, strong running, excellent blocking at the point of attack. They've got a nice little drive brewing right here.
A play fake, and it's Darnold.
Now he'll tuck this and run.
And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2.
I do think it's fair to say that they were caught off guard a little bit when we decided not to throw it on first down. But give them credit. They recovered in time to deny him the first down yardage. But it's only 2nd and short. So that run is still likely to lead to a new set of downs.
And they're not going to get to the line to run another play. So we will switch ends as the 3rd quarter has come to a close. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. Back now in Seattle, Washington. It's been a very hotly contested game to this point. Just a field goal separating these two teams as we get set for the 4th quarter.
More muscle up front for this 2nd and 2. They've got 3 tight ends out there.
And they'll try the air now with Darnold.
A throw left sideline falls incomplete.
And when you're in a one-score game in the second half, now's not the time to force the football in the places where you shouldn't. And that's a smart decision to just get that one out of there.
The offense on 3rd down, they've converted 5 times in their many chances thus far. This time they face a 3rd and 2. Darnold.
Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he is going to have a Seahawks first down as this defense unable to hold. It's a 7-yard gain there on 3rd and 2.
I don't care how many times we see it. I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. First down.
And they build that trust, and that's why they're able to find him in this type of a situation.
If you can keep getting gains like that, Charles, with the lead here in the 4th quarter, I mean, keep running it, right?
No doubt about it, but what the offense coordinator has to do is understand. They're going to continue to stack the line of scrimmage. What runs do you have in your arsenal that'll work against a stacked box and continue to move the ball?
And now a handoff to Charbonnet.
And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. A 5-yard gain, and now they're set up 1st and goal.
As I take a look at the clock, I realize that this drive has eaten up a good portion of the fourth quarter already. Got to tell you, partner, when you're trying to salt away a game, this is exactly what it's supposed to look like.
So 1st and goal, 6 points here would go a long way toward wrapping this one up. Now it's Darnold. And this throw a bit late as he couldn't reach back for it. Down this close to the goal line, 1st down. Surprised that wasn't a run?
I am, and you know I'm old school. I want to run the ball on 1st down in this situation because 2nd down, that gives me that option of running play action and maybe throwing it.
2nd and goal, and they will try again from the 2-yard line. Straight ahead, Walker. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down.
I thought they were onto something with their play call and kind of went in reverse a little bit. Threw it on 1st down, then ran it on 2nd down. Not successful either way. What play call do they come up with here on this important 3rd down try?
Now Darnold on 3rd and goal.
To the left side, catch made by Arroyo.
No gain at all on the play there. That brings up 4th. And if you're going to pass down here, you better get that in the end zone.
I agree with you totally, and as we both know, the field's already condensed. There's just not a lot of space, so you've got to create some by getting some people downfield into the end zone. If you want to throw it short, you've got to have some movement, some room in order to do that. That one didn't work.
So they get the 3, but you wonder now, is that going to be enough?
Excellent question, because when I look at the smiles on that side of the field, they're a little tight, aren't they? If they had scored a touchdown there, those would be big half-moon grins right now because they'd feel a whole lot better about their position.
And a touchdown in the other direction, all of a sudden they're down. Myers now converted on the field goal try. Now he's on to kick it away.
And he'll get it up past the 20 to about the 22.
Now the Colts offense gets ready to head back on the field.
Rivers and the Colts going to come up 1st and 10
at their own 22.
They'll run with Taylor to begin the drive.
And he'll take it forward for about 5 up to the 28-yard line.
Well, I think after that run, the defense is getting back in the huddle and looking at each other and maybe starting to question their confidence a bit. They gave up a significant run, 6 yards, and now you're saying to yourself, how do we stop them, and do I have enough confidence to make a play?
Throwing Rivers.
This will be taken in by Michael Pittman. And Pittman going to have a Colts 1st down as he'll get this up to the 34-yard line.
It's a pickup of 6.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
They'll bring a receiver in motion left. To throw is Rivers.
A short one there, caught by Warren.
And he goes out right around the 39. Give him a gain of 5 on the completion. And that will bring up 2nd down.
They really love to get him into one-on-one opportunities, and this is one way. Work him out of the slot and create a mismatch. Who's going to cover him? Corner, safety, linebacker? He's got a way to beat all of those positions.
Rivers going to give this one to Taylor. And strong running there as he's across midfield and down to the 49. 41 yards rushing for him now as he's carried it 13 times.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. I can just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there, I'm going to tackle this guy. By the 4th quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down 4th quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently. And this one is incomplete.
Well, I think we were both wondering if we were going to see them try and push it deep downfield, facing a one-possession deficit late, and they certainly didn't disappoint. They gave it an effort.
2nd and 10.
From the gun, it's Taylor. Takes this to the 45. Not much space after that broken tackle. 4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a third down.
That second down play call was not to pick up the first down. It was to accomplish what they did, to get them into a manageable third down, because they had incompletion on first down, so they were behind the sticks, so to speak. They needed to make up some ground, and they did.
Rivers to throw it. Pressure comes. He's taken down by the Seahawk defense. Leonard Williams, the former number 6 overall pick, got the sack that time.
I don't know what else can be said about this pass rush. They have been sensational. CD, that is now 6 sacks for them.
And how many times do we talk to offensive coordinators and they say a sack is a result of everyone on offense not doing their job? But let's be honest about this one. This is the offensive line unable to counter the pass rush. They've been teeing off all game long.
A pretty good punt there, but also a nice return of 12 yards.
And out now come the Seahawks.
Their defense got the stop, forced the punt, and now you really start to monitor the clock as they nurse this slim lead.
Looking to put a drive together.
Here's Walker to start the drive.
And they take him down, losing yardage back at the 27. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
That's a really alert defense there, because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
Here's Darnold.
Now he's going to step up and run.
And he works his way past the line of scrimmage and then slides to a halt. It's just a gain of a couple there on the scramble, and now it's 3rd down.
I certainly like what he did right there, because he smartly wanted to avoid forcing anything downfield because nothing appeared to be open. Nice harmless slide there to avoid the big hit, and he gets a small gain on the play.
Darnold now to throw.
There's a short one caught by Arroyo.
And he stopped up short of the first as they tackle him down at about the 36. So they'll get 8 out of that completion. And that's going to bring up a 4th down. I hate to surrender the football when you're nursing a slim lead, but they're going to have to punt it away. Trust that defense.
It's the right play at this stage of the game as well. You don't need to press it here, because you do have that little bit of a cushion, and you count on your D to make it stand up.
The call for a fair catch, and it's made at about the 23-yard line. 37 yards on the punt with no return.
And the Colts now, they're ready to get the football back. Their defense accomplished step 1 of the mission. They forced the punt. Now they'll look to erase that deficit and take a 4th quarter lead.
Now Rivers.
And that's going to be incomplete.
Some coaches like to take the shorter, more reliable yardage, and some, they like to go for the big shot. No fear in risking a deep ball there, but it wasn't enough to get them the completion.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Here's Rivers.
He's got his man. It's Pierce.
That'll leave them with a 3rd and 2 coming up. They got 8 yards there.
That's a gain of 8. Brings up 3rd and 2.
They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the first here.
Now Rivers.
And this pass broken up. And the contact well timed there, and now 4th down.
Good clean play, no flags coming out of the pocket of the officials. Turns into an incompletion, and that should get them off the field with a 3 and out.
Now here's Rigoberto Sanchez as he's on to punt for Indianapolis. And a fair catch signaled for and taken just outside the 20-yard line. Here come the Seahawks now, set to take over on offense. They have played so strongly. You look at the scoreboard, you probably, with the way they played, you would think the margin would be a lot bigger, right?
You would. And in your experience, how many times have we run into coaches where they've talked about, hey, We just want to put it in the hands of our defense and have them win the game. In this case,
yeah, not the case.
Not at all. You want to put it in the hands of your offense, but you always feel better about saying defense because you think defense is a constant and offense kind of comes and goes. Today, this game, no, they need their offense to stay on a really hot level.
They've been hot so far.
And what a tough spot for this defense because they know it's coming, but they're just powerless to stop it. What a great run there to start the drive. And you can bet there'll be more where that came from as they try to ice this game away.
Out to the flat. That's complete to his running back. And he'll be out of bounds after getting this one across the 40. It'll go down as a gain of 6, and that's going to bring up second down.
Up the middle, here's Walker.
And he stopped immediately there. No gain on the play that time, and they'll look to convert on what will be a 3rd and 4.
Now, obviously, that's some good work there defensively, being able to stop them and bringing up a key 3rd down. But if you're on the offensive side of the ball, there's an opportunity because I know what defensive guys are thinking right now. Just stop them, get to the ball. That means they might not be sound defensively. There could be some opportunities.
And you said Keith, and he'll be brought down by the Colts. And now that brings up 4th down there, a loss of 6 yards on the sack.
This is a little hard for me to compute because I'm watching sack after sack happen, but somehow they're still behind in the game. I would expect all of this defensive pressure to translate to them taking a lead, and thus far, it hasn't happened. Time's winding down. They don't want to waste this type of performance from these ace pass rushers.
And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. A 40-yard punt, no return.
And they will take over 1st and 10.
Looking to put a drive together.
Rivers is going to fake the give to Taylor and set up to throw it.
Under pressure, and down he goes.
Multiple rushers break through to drop him for the 7th time this game.
This offensive line flat out cannot handle this pass rush. We've seen it demonstrated time and time again to the tune of 7 sacks in this game thus far.
Got to assume this defense will be charging again here. It's 2nd and 15. From the gun, Rivers. Throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete.
Well, he certainly thought he had an open look beyond the 1st down marker to his receiver, but they just couldn't connect, and that will send them back to the drawing board.
Possibly a turning point. Big play coming. This is 3rd and long. From the shotgun, it's Rivers.
The toss here completed to Pittman.
And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. Boy, a nice play there as they wind up converting on 3rd and 15.
Well, this offense hasn't been at their best here. They've made some mistakes. They've been frustrated. They've been largely shut down. But then you look up and say, wait a second, this is a 1-score game. So they're still very much in this, and they're on the move here with a 1st down.
Quick slant caught by Pierce.
Rivers now from the 50.
Now a quick throw there, but it's going to be incomplete.
So he's unable to complete it there, and just not the game that you would expect from him. He's been off the mark really start to finish.
Yeah, it makes you wonder what exactly is going on. Is he a little bit dinged up here, or is he just off just by a bit? Maybe he can get it back in this situation. He'll need to.
Rivers to throw.
He's going to get that to his running back out of the backfield.
That's what they need right now. Get the first down, get out of bounds, stop the clock.
Just playing smart football, understanding the situation, making the plays necessary, and making sure that clock stops at every opportunity.
Plenty of time. All 3 timeouts still remain. Here's 1st and 10 now.
Rivers.
Oh, and that's going to sabotage their comeback plans. It is intercepted. Picked off by Ernest Jones. And the Seahawks have just about sewn up this football game. They've got to have 2 hands on the football here as they run on 1st down.
Now the defense going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next.
1st and 10 at the 44-yard line.
Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Darnold. He's going to let this go. Back of the end zone. And that's going to be too high. Out of bounds and incomplete.
They decided the opportunity was there and launched a deep ball, but he was unable to get away from the defender. Couldn't create space, couldn't uncover at the end of the route, and that one winds up incomplete.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. And he'll go down shy of the 40 at the 41. Now the Colts going to burn the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll get it with just over 90 seconds to go in the ball game. The 1st down line at the 34 here on 3rd down. Now it's Darnold. And that will be incomplete.
I think he could have scanned downfield forever, but there wasn't anything available. Ends up throwing an incompletion, and I think he'll take that.
Now here's Michael Dixon as he's on to punt for Seattle. And out of bounds, sailed over, looked like right near the pylon. This one's going to be perfect. Directional kicking at its finest, right down at the 1-yard line.
So now the veteran Rivers and the Colts
down 23-17. A minute 24 to go. They'll have to go the full 99 yards. Good luck there as they come up 1st and 10.
A carry by Taylor to start the drive. But nothing doing there. They get to the 3, and that's all.
Well, he got what he could there, just trying to move forward and gain a little bit of yardage and create some space. You know the pressure is going to be tough defensively.
They'll come up now, 2nd and 9.
Now Rivers.
Finding Pittman.
And able to get it across the 10 to the 15. They had to get it away from their end zone somewhat, but still a long way to go.
Had to start somewhere. That's probably the best outcome possible.
1st and 10 at the 15-yard line.
Final minute, 1 timeout remaining. 1st and 10.
Here's Rivers.
Pass complete to Allie Cox.
And he's going to be taken down with a marker on the field. So let's see about the call. Well, there have been a ton of sacks. They were just trying to prevent another.
So what you're telling me is the conventional way has not really worked for them, huh?
Not at all.
Not at all. So he tries to grab him here, and they still get caught.
Here's 1st down.
Back to throw.
Pass complete to Taylor. And he'll manage maybe 10 yards, but they'll surrender that defensively, no problem.
Now the Colts will use their third and final timeout as they stop it with 22 ticks to go in the fourth.
Here's a 2nd and 7.
Back to throw.
Throwing left sideline there, but it's incomplete.
Probably time for 2 more shots, and ideally, they'd like to get to midfield or so they have a chance at a Hail Mary on the final play.
No tougher place to be in a spot like this than Seattle. Here's 3rd down.
He'll look to throw.
And that one too wide and incomplete.
What a great sequence by this defense so far. They've given him nowhere to go with the football.
And they just have to make it stand up one more time because it appears that they've got their number. Can they not have a slip up here and allow the touchdown?
The decision made for them. They've got to go. It's 4th down.
As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. And he'll get this out to the 30-yard line.
Well, it took us until the final play, Charles, to officially decide a winner. Although on that last play they were so backed up, it would have taken a miracle, and they couldn't get that miracle done.
Well, I like how you stayed with it because we both knew that this had to go down to the last play, and neither side was going to exhale until that play concluded because we've seen the improbable before. A couple of laterals, maybe some poor defense on the back end. They might have gone all the way to the end zone. In this case, though, it didn't happen. Perhaps next time.
So that'll do it for us. For my partner, Charles Davis, and all the hard-working men and women on our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL right here on EA Sports. It's a win for the Seahawks here as we say so long